So I'm back. Sorry about that. What's going to be happening from now on. I've got to be available to take phone calls and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I got the. If you haven't seen it on my Instagram page, I took a picture of my entire Blood Angels army. Well, I took a couple of pictures actually. One was, I took 4, I believe. One was all of my infantry that I've got painted. And all my infantry that aren't fully painted. And there's a lot. And then there's one picture of all my vehicles and that I painted, and then another one of the vehicles that aren't. I think I spoke about this a little bit last week, but my plan is to get the pictures round the other way so that my painted stuff is a much bigger picture than my unpainted stuff. Bear in mind, this is an army I've had now for quite a long time. I've been collecting Blood Angels most of my wargaming life. Fair enough, they're not the original models that I had, because I had to sell them. But some of these are still bordering on 10, nearly 15 years old. So 2004 was the year that Apocalypse got released, I believe. Could be a little bit wrong. It's probably not that long actually, but who knows. I may look it up later, but it doesn't matter too much. Needless to say, the army should have been finished by now. So I'm going to be making an effort in the next year or so to actually get majority of them finished. It's going to be part of my pledge, because I make a wargaming pledge each year. Generally speaking, it's just to hit my 200 models, and like this year there was a bit more involved in it. Get the 3 super heavy vehicles or super heavy things done, which I still haven't done. But I did hit my 200 models, or 201 even. I made a start on my Reaver Titan. I painted some non-GW models, but not a lot. Not enough for a full team of anything. There's something I may look at in the next week or so, is to buy a set of models that I quite like the look of. It doesn't have to be anything particularly massive or fancy or anything, and just get them painted. But I don't know. See, the Malifaux was looking okay, but it went back in this case because just I wasn't in the mood for painting them. So, and to be fair, I've not painted a lot of Blood Angels for a while, so it's about time I got back onto these guys. I would like to say my plan is to have a big game using a lot of them sometime in the next year, but the club hasn't really got the facilities to run a game that large. So I mean, it would be nice to play a really large scale Apocalypse game, but like I said, I've said before, Apocalypse doesn't mean anything in 40k anymore. It used to be a really good way to play the game, and a lot of fun, and it doesn't run like that anymore. I mean, they've taken the rule set of it has gone from being a full book of its own to about 6 pages in a chapter approved, I think it was in. So like I said, that it's like they've almost dropped it. So it's just larger games of 40k now. That's all it is. Now, big games of Apocalypse in Horus Heresy. Now, that's something. That's you could involve Titans in it, which only a few people own Titans, so it would kind of make it a little bit unbalanced. But yeah, we'll have to see. Of course, I've got my Titan, but it's not built. It's not anywhere near ready to be gamed with. So this is Marine number 4, who's just getting his rebase coat done. Got one more to go, and then I can consider putting the second layer on. When I say a second layer, it's a lighter red, it's Evil Sun Scarlet. Now, I have got another 2 tactical squads that are base coated the same way, so they'll need a Western red layer as well. I believe my assault squad aren't base coated at all, and then I've got the 5 Marines that are left of the Devastator squad, which are just spray painted black. So I need to figure out a way to get some undercoating done. Just at the moment there's a bit of a storm around, and it's the wind's really strong. It's raining majority of the time. And it's not exactly spray painting weather, so yeah. So we'll see tomorrow. I mean, apparently the storm's going to continue tomorrow until Friday. I mean, I'm back at work tomorrow. If I can get some time on Friday, because apparently when the storm dies down it should get a bit sunny. As long as the wind's not too high, I might get some spray painting done on Sunday. But I don't know. Who knows? I think this brush is coming towards the end of its life, to be honest. It's just feeling like it doesn't feel like a stable brush anymore. A sable brush, sorry, not a stable brush. It just feels like it's a bit grainy, if you know what I mean. So we'll see. It might just need a clean. Like I've been saying for months, I should clean my brushes, and I still haven't. I just, yeah, I will do them eventually. Might do them tomorrow. I've got some models to strip tomorrow as well, or Friday, but we'll see. Right, so that's all 10 Tactical Marines base coated. I clean up my palette and look at starting on that Terminator Captain. Now, like I said, he was originally, he'd be painted, but I wasn't happy with how his paint scheme had come out. So I've done this with a few other Marines before. I've just re-coated over him. So let's get some Evil Sun Scarlet out. So what we're going to do is put these Marines back here and let them dry. So that's all 10 tactical marines have been base coated again, and you can straight away tell the difference in colour. I mean, from the colour that they were to the colour that they are now, the red is a lot stronger. So we're going to get some Evil Sun Scarlet. We're going to wet our brush a little bit and put some on the palette. Now again, I want to thin this down quite a lot. Not loads, but so it's not going to be really thick. So yeah, so the new game Blackstone Fortress come out on last weekend. I got it on the Friday, and I managed to get it all built over the weekend, even with everything that was going on. And I didn't take it to the club because other people had it as well. So played kind of 2 missions on it, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that people will be interested enough to actually carry on playing it. Because that was the thing with Silver Tower, which is Warhammer Quest as well, and well, Shadows over Hammerhall. I don't know if anyone played that. Silver Tower, everyone played the first mission a couple of times, and then played 1 or 2 other missions, and that was it. No one actually ever finished it. So I would like to get all the way through one of them game systems, complete the whole thing. It would be very cool if we could. But I'll have to see. So what I'm doing here is I'm just basically giving this an all over coat of Evil Sun Scarlet. This is how I now paint Blood Angels. The old way of painting them took way too long, and I'm hoping this new way will encourage me to get them all finished. Well, not all of them finished, to get more of them finished. But who knows? Obviously, like I said, it'd be easier if I could spray paint them, but I can't, so we're just gonna... I mean, if I've been talking a little bit about getting an airbrush again. Now, about 3 years ago now, I bought myself an airbrush 3 or 4 years ago, and seeing as my painting area is basically what you see here, very limited for space. I didn't really have the room on my desk for an airbrush, so it was constantly getting put away and set up and put away and set up, and to be honest, the whole continuously having to clean the airbrush, which is a normal thing with an airbrush. You've got to do it because otherwise it gets clogged and gets useless. I would spend more time cleaning the thing than actually airbrushing. So I gave it away. It wasn't a particularly great one anyway. It was a just cheapy one I've got off Amazon. Gave it away to a friend of mine. I believe he still uses it. I'm not sure, but that's something I would have to look at if I was ever going to do big scale commission painting. I would have to look at an airbrush, but I don't think that's going to be something I'm going to worry about again. Now that I'm commission free, I've got no commissions on my head. I'm stripping some models for a few people, but that's not really commission painting, so that doesn't count. So yeah, it's something I might have to look into again. I don't know. I mean, it probably helped me quite a lot if I did. Now, strictly speaking, you shouldn't be airbrushing inside unless you've got a ventilation system, which mine was. It got caught in a box, my ventilation system, so it was probably quite bad for me anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. I was actually going to ask around the club to see if anyone's got an area where they can go and spray paint models without being accused of graffiti or anything like that. But you know, I just leave it. Right, so we're coming on quite well on this Terminator captain. It's the thing, he's got a weird loadout, so strictly speaking I don't think he's a legal model, but he's one of my models, so I'm going to paint him. I don't think Terminator captains are allowed to take Thunderhammer and Stormbolter, but you know, it is what it is. He was like I said, he was a named character in 6th edition, and even in the current lore he's still alive, because of how time works in the 41st millennium and stuff like that. But he's not got, there's no special character with his loadout or anything anymore, so interesting to see what they do with that. Right, so that's the Evil Sun Scarlet done on him. I might as well just carry on because I'm kind of okay. I'm in the mood for it now, so why not? Grabbing the Sergeant. I'm going to do the same on him. Evil Sun Scarlet all over. Now these Sergeant models that I've got, they're slightly smaller than the normal Marines, purely because they're older metal models. And back in the late 90s, early 2000s, the Space Marines were a lot smaller than they are now. I mean, Space Marines now, they've got Primaris Marines, which are a lot bigger than even the current normal Space Marines, but yeah, I'm still sticking to my Marines. I know they're phasing them out a little bit, but I don't care. I'll still use them. Probably by the time I finish actually painting the army, they'll be no good to anyone. I won't be able to use them in games, but tough. They're still my models. But yeah, they released a new a preview of Minus Calgar, who's the chapter master, the old chapter master of the Ultramarines, and they totally broke their own fluff, because they were saying in all the fluff that normal Space Marines couldn't be upgraded to Primaris Space Marines, and then they upgraded Calgar to a Primaris Marine. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It means I could look forward to new models for like Commander Dante and Mephiston and stuff like that, possibly in the future, because they're on Blood Angels, not Ultramarines. But who knows? They might say it will work for some chapters, but not for others. I don't know. But I always had the idea they were going to do something like this anyway. They were going to release all the codexes, or codices, and then when 2nd edition ninth edition started to come around, because it's going to be either next year or the year afterward, I would think. They will be upgrading the Space Marine characters, I would have thought. So, and there's other ones that will be phased out. Like, for example, the guy who leads my company is Captain Tycho. In the fluff, he is dead anyway, so I can see them doing away with that model, but that's fine, because I've got 3 of him for some reason. But that's okay. I think I've got 3. I may have sold one, I'm not sure. I've definitely got 2, I know that, because I've got one who... He's the only character in the game that I can tell who's got 2 profiles. He's got the profile of him as they've put it in the book, the relatively sane captain. And then they've got his Death Company profile, where he basically fell to the Black Rage, and that makes him a bit of a raving madman. So... yeah, but my one's painted up in the gold armour as Captain Tycho rather than Tycho the Lost. But I've always had the idea of painting one as Death Company, so that's why I've got the extra model. And again, like all the other stuff that I've got, I'll get round to him at some point, I hope. So now that I'm kind of in the groove for painting these, I'm going to set myself a target tonight before I start, before I decide if I'm going to go back and play World of Warcraft for a little bit later. I'm going to try and get all of their power armour finished. Power armour and Terminator armour. So basically get all the red done. No guarantees I can actually get it done, but if not, I've always got a bit of time before work tomorrow. Who knows? My whole plan with these was always going to be because they're quite undecorated. They've got no bolt pistols on their waists. And they don't have any grenades on them. My whole plan was always to finish painting the actual battle company itself, which is all 106 Marines. And then I was going to go back and give them like bolt pistol holsters and grenade clips and stuff like that. And that's still kind of what I'm aiming for. We'll see if I can actually do it, which it shouldn't be a problem. It should be fine to do. Like, literally what I'll do is I'll stick a load of the Blood Angel bits, like the knives, the bolter holders, the ammo clips, those kind of things, onto like a metal ruler, like this one that I've got here. I blue tack them all down, and I'll just spray paint them and glue them and paint them. It won't need to be. It won't take too long, I wouldn't think, because they're quite easily detailed. But just give them a bit of personality, because at the moment they are just red Space Marines. Now I know I've got a load of spare Blood Angel backpacks. So it's quite likely that I'll swap out a lot of the Marines backpacks for newer ones that have got a lot of Blood Angels iconography on them. But most of the company, I've painted over half of the company, because the command squad and the captain are done. The first 3 tactical squads are fully painted. One of the Devastator squads is finished, and one of the assault squads is finished. and then I've got five men from one of the other Devastator squads, and from the other Devastator squad is finished as well. So yeah, I'm over halfway. I've just got to focus and get them done. But like I said, that's going to be part of my painting push next year. Is going to be Blood Angels. If I can paint 100 of them, the battle company will be finished. Probably most of my Terminators will be done, and I would have started on the other company that I've got. I've got 2 Blood Angel companies basically, as well as about half the first company and quite a bit of the scout company. So I've got a lot to go. But if I can of my painting tally, if I can do 100 of them as Blood Angels, I'll be well on my way. So it's Heavy Bolter guy done. So yeah, I've also got a load of vehicles to paint, so some of them are base coated, some aren't. Don't want to take the back line, we want to take this line. So the back line is the guys that I've recently base coated. The Evil Sun Scarlet is quite a thin paint anyway, so all this does is it gives it a bit of a brighter red, gives it more of a brighter red look to it, which of course then later on, once I've recess shaded and edge highlighted and glazed, it will bring it down a lot more and tie the colours together. So I was considering doing a little video of step by step how to paint a Blood Angel, but what I might do is I'll leave that to the new year, because in the new year I'm gonna have more free time than I've got now. So hopefully I can vary my videos a little bit. I might be able to actually get some of these battle reports done, and we'll see where that goes. Yeah, because I'm giving up work after Christmas, so I'll be looking for another job on and off. A friend of mine at the club said it in quite a good way. He's kind of in the same situation. He was made redundant, although I wasn't made redundant, I quit my job. He's a little bit older than me, I think, and he just basically said he's had nearly 5 months off work now, and he just sees it as he's worked for 20 years, he's got 20 years of work ahead of him before he retires, so it's almost like he's called half time on his career. So he's just taking it easy for a little while, which is exactly how I feel, except that I went back to work when I probably shouldn't have. If I had taken some of this past 3 or 4 months, if I hadn't have worked up till now, I'd probably be itching to get back to work, but I went back after a couple of months, and it was probably the wrong thing to do. I mean, there's been times when I was working at my old company at Seaver, I would have 2 weeks off work, holiday, just to use some holiday up. I wasn't ever going away anywhere. And by the time the 2 weeks had finished, I was eager to get back to work because I was bored. A lot of people find this. They want to get back to work. And I figure if I had have actually taken all this time off, I would be at that stage by now. I'd be eager to go back to work. I'd be wanting to get something done, you know. But I didn't. I had a couple of months and then I went back. I felt like I should be earning, so I went back to work. And I fell straight back into the same sort of job again, where people are unhappy most of the time. Long hours, bad pay. You expect way too much is expected of you, and it's not helped me really. Fair enough, it's helped me for day to day because I've been earning money, but as I've said before, money's not the be all and end all of it. Money isn't everything. I mean, fair enough, I could probably say, look, I'll just do 2 days a week. That's all I want to do, but I think the agency would always push me to try and do more. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's I'll try and think what I would want to do anyway. I mean, I've never really known what I would want to do. If I had a choice of any job, I mean, when I was at my old job before I walked out, the manager had pulled me to one side at one point and said that I could have any job in that warehouse I wanted. But I never acted on it. I never took him at his word, if you know what I mean. Just kind of went, well, yeah, like I tend to do. My own worst enemy sometimes, and I know that. But I think I've rambled on enough today. I haven't really talked about anything important, to be honest, so I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a short one, or it's been a bit. I've like I said, I've got stuff on my mind. But now I am actually going to carry on painting while the video uploads. I'm going to try and get these Blood Angels done. But again, thank you very much if you have listened to me ramble today. Mostly crap, I know, but thank you very much anyway. I will catch you all soon. Goodbye. Right, hi guys, hi everyone. I'm aware I've made this video a bit short today, so I'm going to do a little bit of a look at my history in wargaming. Basically what I'm going to do is show you my old cupboard that has all my old wargaming stuff in it. I'm just trying to put a light on. Right, so what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and you'll see what I'm talking about. So this is my cupboard of old stuff. Now I don't throw anything away. You'll have to excuse the lighting because I'm aware that it's these strip lights, you know, and excuse the mess. It is a kind of a mess. I'm working on to reduce it, but I've got quite a lot of unbuilt stuff, which is this pile here. It's all unbuilt stuff. That's a lot, I know, and I've got to get to some of that. As you can see, I'll pan up here. Got the old Titan Legions box, which is quite an old game. Like I said, I've said to people before, that box there is a practically untouched version of 2nd edition 40k. Above that we've got Battlefleet Gothic, Man of War, which is probably the oldest game in here, Gorka Walker, Warhammer Quest, and right up the top there got Space Crusade and Hero Quest. They're the oldest games by far. My old edition of Blood Bowl, 7th edition 40k, Necromunda, And these are the games that Games Workshop kind of didn't really follow up with anything. So you got Dreadfleet, which was supposed to be replacing Man of War, but it never went anywhere else. Space Hulk, which after owning it for coming up to 10 years, I've still never played that game. You got Betrayal of Calf, never played that, used it for Heresy. Deathwatch Overkill, never played that. Models are still in there, I believe. I've got Warhammer, which is the old fantasy Age of Sigmar. The Hobbit. And right up the top there, we've got my Warhammer Fortress with other stuff on top, but I can't really... There's stuff up here which is quite old. And these are here. We've got a pile of stuff here as well. This is my Wargaming stuff. My codexes and my Heresy books. And more games down the bottom. CDs. I've got CDs everywhere. I love my CD collection. And even stuff on top of the wardrobe. Like I said, my hobby is a bit mad. But I've got a few things in here that I'm possibly going to shift and get rid of over the next couple of months. Who knows? We just have to see. I'm probably going to sell that because I don't want it. And possibly the Fortress as well, but who knows. Right, thank you everyone. I will see you next week. Hi everyone, it's me here again as usual. It's Wednesday the 28th of November, and I'm going to try and sit and paint for a little while. I'm probably not going to do a full hour today because I've got things on my mind, which this should help, but it's just not at the moment, so we'll see what we get done. I'll explain why in a little bit after I've been through what I've got on my desk. So I've got the top half of my Lord of Skulls, which is still needs the bottom half finishing. The bottom half is this thing. Quite a big thing to work on, but it's getting there. Got my Warlord Titan as per usual. The Doom Ball, which I still haven't rebased. The Knights, which I haven't touched. The Space Marine Hero guys, which again I haven't touched. This is a new Plague Marine from the Conquest set. Just it shows up. Okay. I've got an idea. Most of the Plague Marines come with these little guys. They're called Nurglings. It's probably not helping the fact that I'm putting my hand in front of the light, but anyway. And I may save all of the Nurglings up that I collect for Nurgling bases, but we'll see later down the line. We got my Star Priest still not finished. Might get some work on him today, I don't know. We've got these are basically the new guys that I've got out. They're not new. Some of these models are near 15 years old, but I'm going to try and get them painted because this is my Blood Angels. We've got a Primaris Captain in Gravis armor. We've got Terminator Captain, who is got a name but I can't remember him. And we've got Tactical Squad and Death Company Squad. The Tactical Squad is Sergeant with Power Fist and Bolt Pistol, Marine with Heavy Bolter. There will be one with a Flamer, but the bits and pieces of backpacks and the Flamers are all up here on my desk. Just pan the camera up a little bit and you can see there, all that stuff there. We've got the rest of the Marines, and then we've got some Death Company, which are 5 guys, but probably not going to touch them today. In fact, let's put them further at the back, just to show that I'm not actually going to do anything. In fact, let's get them off the paint station. So, where are we going to start? Well, basically, these guys, as you can see, they've got some paint on them already, but this is an old paint. Now, I've come up with a different way of painting my Blood Angels, so what I did is the Captain in Gravis armor I started painting a little while ago, so he's fine. The Terminator Captain, I reapplied the Mephiston Red, which is this colour here, over his whole armour. Basically, I'm repainting him. and I did the same for these guys earlier on, and I had an hour or two on my laptop, so I'm determined to try and get some painting done. It may not be a lot, but I want to get some done because it's what I do. So basically what I'm going to be doing today is reapplying the base coats to these and hopefully moving on from there. But like I said, it all depends on how my mood takes me. At the moment, my nan had a stroke on Saturday, and I'm not. Let's say my head's not in the game. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, at the club on Monday, there was things I wasn't 100% sure on. My head's just not with it at the moment. So, but we are going to try. I'm going to try and get some painting done. Just get the Mephisto red, stick it on the palette, and we're going to make a start. So this is my new way of painting Blood Angels, but because the weather is as it is at the moment, I can't spray paint models, so I'm gonna, because they're base coated anyway, just reapplying the Mephisto red is what I would do over a spray paint anyway, so I'm just gonna do that. Now this brush for some reason feels very dry, there's bristles, so right, here we go. So yeah, like I was saying, so the week, I normally talk about my week, and it's been a bit of a crap week, to be honest. Like I said, that happened last Saturday, and it's kind of knocked me for six a little bit. I still went to work on Saturday, but I wasn't fully there, if you know what I mean. Basically what happened was she was in the bathroom, and it happened while she was in there. She fell, and she broke her finger and dislocated her arm. So that's quite a bad fall. Well, now my nan's, bear in mind that I'm nearly 40. My nan's nearly in her 90s. She's 89. She's 90 next year, I think. But she's got dementia as well. So it's just everything is a bit much at the moment. A couple of years ago, when my dad was diagnosed with cancer, he had bladder cancer. That is what started my painting push. It was my way of dealing with things. It was taking my mind off of it. I got through a lot of painting because it was a bad time, you know. So I got quite a lot of painting done, but I'm kind of pushing myself to paint at the moment. I'm just not in the mood for it. This is why I'm kind of okay doing basic simple things, so just base coating is fine. I'm hoping that sitting here and actually doing something might encourage me to do more, but I don't know. Like I think I've said probably 1,000 times now, I've hit my target for the year, so in theory I could just walk away from the painting for the rest of the year, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep going, but sometimes it's the little guy in your head is telling you to do one thing, and you're just not motivated to do it. So And I know it's perfectly fine if I don't paint, I don't paint, but I've been saying for the past year in these videos that painting is what helps me relax and helps me chill out, and it's just not doing it at the moment. So yeah, so the past week's been a bit crap. I went to the club on Monday, but I wasn't. I was a little bit all over the place. We played the new game, Blackstone Fortress, which was quite good. Played a game of Horus Heresy, which was brutally fun. But you know, it's weird. The guy that I played, he's been playing Heresy for a while now. I think he said about a year. Now I was playing 7th edition 40k, which 6th edition, 7th edition is more or less the same. But I played that for nearly 4 years. So moving on to Heresy is the easy thing, because it's the same game system more or less, with a few little tweaks, but you know, and it was nice playing Heresy again. I mean, I know I seem to play that more often than 40k now, but I enjoy it a lot more than 40k. 40k is almost a click and point game. But don't get me wrong, I love my wargaming, I love my models and stuff, but just 40k's lost some of its it's lost some of the strategy that I enjoyed from 7th edition. Now I'm not going to stop playing it, because it would be a bit silly if I did, because of the big collections of models that I've got. But it's not going to be my go-to game for a while. I mean, they're releasing new stuff all the time for 40k, so that's good, but it's just, it seems to be missing something for me. It's not enjoyable to watch on YouTube videos anymore. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just finish this guy and had to just take a quick break, because that was our landline ringing, so might have to just take a phone call quickly. But yeah, just rebase coating these. It's like I said, after I would spray Mephiston red, rebase coating is what I would do with Blood Angels anyway, because the Mephiston red spray paint is slightly different to the Mephiston red paint, and I prefer the colour that the paint gives you rather than the actual spray paint. So yeah, it's fine. It's easy enough to do. I mean, I may get a bit fed up with doing it after the 100 odd space rings that I've got to do, but who knows. Right, so just give me a moment, I'll be right back.